and start with their IoT type of service right away. But then there's also equipment out there in the field that's been around for, say, 20 years with no sensors and no plans to put sensors on that. So the variety of equipment out there is, is generally a rule for all of the customers that we see. So we try to help with different types of functionalities to help address maintenance for all these types of equipment. So obviously there's the reactive service that we help with. So that's your regular break fix model that's customer driven, where a customer just gives you a call when something is broken. Then there is also some preventive maintenance that a lot of our customers have adopted, which is more product driven, where say every few months you would have a technician out in the field doing maintenance on a piece of equipment. Then the next step would be condition-based maintenance, which is asset driven, where you are able to provide maintenance based on certain equipment conditions, such as, a certain piece reaches a certain temperature, or there's a certain number of revolutions for a certain piece of equipment that's been reached. And that's when you have triggered a maintenance request. So that is now available, and that runs with or without IoT. So that's also a possibility for many of our customers. And then there's, of course, predictive maintenance with IoT. So let me go ahead and go to next slide to discuss some of the complexities involved in delivering service. So there are many dimensions to executing a preventive maintenance program. And here's some of the questions that you may be asking yourself as you move forward with preventive maintenance program. One of them is, do you need to manage preventive maintenance contracts and their terms? And if so, do you have to understand what types of coverage to provide on those contracts, and then be able to account for the time and materials associated with the maintenance provided? Another question may be, there are many routine tasks that also need to be documented for each type of maintenance, and you need to provide this type of maintenance for each product. So there are a lot of complexities, and of course, once you start with IoT, there's also different complexities there. So there are a lot of complexities in delivering proactive service, and we try to help with our functionality there. So next slide, please. On this slide, you just see a screenshot from one of our products showing you how we address planned maintenance. So at ServiceMax, we make preventive maintenance easier for you with planned templates. So service plans can run once the template has been set up for each of the accounts, and they will automatically schedule out work at unique intervals that you've preset. And then maintenance plans can specify the types of service that needs to be provided, the timing at which it will need to be provided, the frequency, as well as the tasks and locations and parts. So you can just preset it for all of your accounts where you're doing preventive maintenance. You can do some customization, and then they will run continuously for as long as you need them to run. Okay? Let's go ahead and go to the next slide, please. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I'm hearing a lot of noise. Okay. All right. Okay. So the next step is condition-based maintenance. So plant maintenance, of course, that we discussed previously, it is based on ideal conditions without accounting for real-world equipment usage or environmental factors that may result in the need for more frequent maintenance of your equipment. And now with condition-based maintenance, work orders can be triggered by the Internet of Things signals or by manual data entry from your technicians, or actually from the customers right there on site. And these data entries are, of course, unique to equipment usage, and then you can have work orders and maintenance triggered off of these conditions. So your conditions can be anything like, oh, I would like a maintenance request to appear every time a temperature reaches 200 degrees Celsius or something like that. This way, you're providing service at a specified time for each of your pieces of equipment. And again, this is available to our customers that do have sensors, so we're able to get that IoT information, or that do not have sensors, and this information can be collected either by your technicians out in the field or by your end customers, okay? And moving on to the next slide. So now we're actually getting into connected field service that's driven by IoT. So the goal of the service is to improve equipment uptime and improve customer satisfaction. And first, we talked about the fact that your customers don't really want to see more service from you. Really what they want is the value and the uninterrupted usage of their equipment. And you can help them get there by providing maintenance before a piece of equipment breaks down and causes costly and lengthy repair. And second, you're able to achieve higher customer satisfaction because you're delivering what your customers actually expect, which is more uptime and more seamless service. And third, with IoT, you're able to more effectively diagnose the problem to make sure that the technician who arrives on site is able to come in with the parts and tools available and knows exactly what is happening to provide a fast fix. And also, you may actually solve the problem remotely. So there are lots of benefits with IoT. Going to the next slide. So this is actually a view from Gartner analysts about how IoT can inform and benefit each step of your service delivery process. First, as we discussed already, IoT connected equipment can now initiate alerts that can trigger a service request. Next, your customer support center can have an easier time triaging what went wrong with a piece of equipment because they have more data and analytics available to kind of diagnose the problem. And then also, many times IoT solutions have a way to also provide, contextual instructions so that your technicians who come in to provide maintenance or fix the problem are able to do so much faster because they have instructions for them easily available. So the benefits are really across every single step along the service delivery process, all the way through identifying failure patterns as well as optimizing preventive maintenance. Because again, now you have more data to work with. You have historical and real-time data, which can be used to provide analytics on when the maintenance is needed. And then over to the next slide. And of course, your customer is the ultimate beneficiary of connected field service because you are reducing the operating costs and preventing their loss of revenue when equipment is broken. And of course, you're helping exceed customer expectation with seamless service and uninterrupted equipment performance. And now, moving on to the next slide. So I've taken you kind of on a transformation journey that a lot of our customers are going through today. They're going from a break-fix model to the new proactive models needed to deliver uninterrupted uptime and seamless service. And to deliver this type of an experience, of course, you need to make sure that all of your IT systems, such as CRM, your ERP, your field service, your inventory, as well as your industry-specific systems, they all need to talk to each other and be connected. And that requires integration. Now, let me pass over the presentation to Mike from Magic, who will share with you how Magic orchestrates state-of-the-art integrations for our joint customers. Mike, over to you.
Thank you very much, Anna. Actually, this is Brian with Magic Software. But no
oh, I'm so sorry, Brian. Oh, I apologize.
That's fine. But thank you, Bill, very much for the introduction. Perfect. Okay. Can everyone hear me? Actually, obviously you can because you heard that I corrected my name. But well, thank you again, Anna. And once again, this is Brian Petoniak. I am VP of Sales at Magic Software for the Americas. And as Anna mentioned, we're going to be spending the remainder of the session showing how real-time business process integration is key in helping you achieve the goal of intelligent end-to-end field service. How cloud and big data and IoT are transforming this market, and ultimately how you can maximize your investment in the powerful platform that is ServiceMax to deliver the highest levels of service while streamlining operations and minimizing costs. To start, I wanted to provide a little background on Magic Software. We are a global provider of end-to-end integration solutions and application development. We've been in business for quite a while, actually founded in 1983. We are a publicly traded organization. We have a network of 24 offices and a presence in over 50 countries, giving us a global presence and a very large network of partners such as ServiceMax and GE, and our own network of 2,000 employees and millions of happy customers and end users worldwide. So as you can see from the customers listed, we have experience in several field service intensive verticals such as manufacturing, oil and gas, mining, property management, and others. We are also not only a strong partner of GE and ServiceMax, but ServiceMax implementers like Optima, system integrators like Capgemini, and several ERP, CRM, and PLM implementers such as Oracle, SAP, Microsoft, Salesforce, and others. And this allows us to bring solutions and expertise for integration with a variety of systems and in a variety of verticals. With the combination of ServiceMax and Magic, you're not only partnering with a market leader and expert in field service, but with a company in Magic that understands the needs associated with integrating your IT and your OT infrastructure. Later in my presentation, I'll share with you the Westmoor case study and how ServiceMax and Magic help to vastly improve their field service capabilities. So as I mentioned, Magic is an end-to-end business process automation offering with a code-free drag, drop, and configure architecture, making it easy for strong business analysts and your citizen developers and other resources to easily execute and create business process automation. Everything that you do within Magic SPI is customized and tailored so that it meets the organization's specific needs. Magic SPI orchestrates your data throughout the value chain, brokers the connectivity between the various applications that you have within your organization as well as outside of your organization. Magic SPI can support all of your cloud-based applications as well as your legacy and on-prem systems. Just as ServiceMax provides the flexibility to customize your service model to fit your business and customers, Magic SPI provides you the flexibility and freedom to customize your overall business process to meet the needs of your larger organization. Now, integration is a big and often ambiguous word that encompasses quite a lot of elements. So I wanted to take a moment to step back and review everything that this could potentially entail. As integration and business process automation experts here at Magic, we understand that full field service automation or any business process automation could require connection to several endpoints, a lot of different systems, databases, file types, etc. That transformation, data manipulation, and other logic could be required, and that data could potentially need to be distributed to several different locations. So end-to-end integration is not only the movement of data, but the orchestration of this data along several phases to create a business process that will actually produce true value for your organization. With the inclusion of IoT into this, you're dealing with some special requirements, potentially an extremely large volume of data, upwards of millions of messages. This will require a dedicated IoT hub and IoT connectivity to be managed effectively. Leveraging big data concepts and an in-memory data grid, Magic can provide a solution that not only for this connectivity, but for the required orchestration to allow this IoT data to be consumed and analyzed to vastly improve your field service team's productivity, and once again bring actual true value to your company and to your customers. Now, IoT and field service as a whole is, of course, applicable to multiple different industries, as Anna had mentioned before. General manufacturing, heavy equipment, energy, property management, healthcare, automotive, fleet management, just to name a few. These devices are going to communicate with themselves, between themselves, and with other systems. Eventually, that data will have to communicate with applications like ServiceMax or other software, data lakes, etc., within an organization, and this cannot occur in a straight line from top to bottom. So the building blocks that are important in IoT connectivity are the data aggregation and then the orchestration of that data once it's been collected. So what we require as a first layer is an aggregation tool that can accept all different types of messaging structures and collect them in a fast, efficient manner, and then move the relevant information or aggregated information into the orchestration layer. From there, the orchestration engine can provide the data to analytics, machine learning enabled prediction engines, and push it into organizational data lakes, or into desktop, mobile applications, and other legacy systems within your organization. So here's a deeper dive into a sample IoT hub that we provide, which simplifies the ability to work with several data types and scale effectively to handle extremely large volumes of data. The IoT Hub runs on an in-memory data grid, which is a fast mechanism that takes messages and changes them into accessible data that can be manipulated and utilized. The data then has to be compressed and pushed in a secure fashion into the Magic SPI space, which once again is the orchestration engine that contains the logic to properly pass relevant data, as well as trigger business processes among other systems, including ServiceMax, ERP, and other relevant applications within your business. So to recap, in order to have a complete IoT solution stack, it needs to support efficient aggregation of various IoT sources, and orchestration is key to actually convert this data into a business process that benefits your customers and organization. So you need the right platform to ensure you can maintain peak performance while simplifying the management of a big data architecture to hopefully help minimize IT overhead. And really the bottom line in all of this is that all the data in the world is really of no use to your company if you cannot effectively manage it and then utilize it. So as Anna mentioned, although predictive maintenance is the goal, the reality is not all equipment will be IoT enabled, nor can all scenarios be prevented. So you're going to need to support a variety of different field service strategies for legacy equipment and to quickly respond to unforeseen service issues. The benefit of having a standardized orchestration layer in conjunction with a robust field service package like ServiceMax is that you still enable automation for these service models and achieve the paramount goal of maintaining a high level of customer satisfaction in all scenarios. You'll be able to automate service requests that originate externally from any source and feed them into ServiceMax, communicate bidirectionally with customers, or update third-party systems in real time on the status of a support item. As I'm sure you're aware, of course, quickly addressing or preventing an issue, as we've been talking about with predictive maintenance, is always key. But maintaining expectations and an open line of communication can be just as important in maintaining overall customer satisfaction. Now, all of this can become a seamless extension of the powerful workflow automations within ServiceMax, once again, to efficiently manage your field service practice. Now, just as IoT is only one component of a field service practice, a field service system, although the critical core, needs real-time orchestration to a variety of systems in order to manage everything from reactive break-fix model all the way to predictive maintenance service models for IoT-enabled equipment. So some examples, customers, work orders, AR status, part numbers, and other items need to be synchronized with ERP. Maintenance schedules need to be coordinated with warehouse management systems or demand planning systems to ensure inventory levels are sufficient for upcoming service, and allowing you to support a just-in-time inventory model, which could help reduce overhead costs. IoT supporting equipment can even be enabled to order their own parts, request their own service. Resource planning, of course, also extends to personnel. So you need to ensure you are properly staffed for scheduled maintenance or to cover expected peak times. CRMs need to be updated so that account reps maintain a 360-degree view of customers and understand when support tickets are open and if they've been resolved. If you use 3PL companies, you can coordinate the delivery of parts and equipment and avoid the embarrassment of a technician showing up before the parts arrive, or a piece of equipment sitting in a customer site for an extended period of time without a technician to come and install it. Once again, having this level of connectivity and automation allows you to truly leverage the workflow of ServiceMax and exceed customer expectations while, once again, streamlining operations and reducing your costs. So the benefits of Magic SPI, our integration platform as an orchestration layer to support these scenarios are its ease of use. Magic SPI is a code-free drag, drop, and configure visual data mapper to avoid complex point-to-point coding and the need to leverage dedicated development resources. Powerful orchestration engine to automate processes and support real-time, near real-time, and scheduled processes. Comprehensive monitoring for a central view of all of your data flow between all of your various systems, as well as proactive notifications of errors and exceptions. We feature pre-built adapters to support any type of application, API, file type, database, or other source. Once again, ensuring that you can use a centralized single platform for all of your integration and connectivity needs. An in-memory data grid to ensure peak performance and fault tolerance, even with extremely high data loads. The IoT Hub, as we've been discussing, to handle the aggregation of large amounts of sensor data. And an agile digital transformation to support connectivity with mobile solutions, other internal applications, your customers, suppliers, partners, and anyone that needs to be involved in a data connectivity and business process automation flow. And now, as I mentioned before, a bit on one of our joint customers, Westmoor, which is a petroleum storage and transportation solution manufacturer out of Minnesota. Now, business as usual for Westmoor previously meant service teams were bogged down with paperwork. Sales had to be, and sales had limited customer visibility. They needed to bring all the teams in the organization together in order to be successful and profitable as a company. As Westmoor continued to grow, they knew that paper processes would not scale and support revenue growth. So Westmoor turned to ServiceMax to deliver a field service management solution and work with Magic to integrate and automate processes between all their systems. Today, Westmoor technicians use ServiceMax on their iPads and connect in real time into their ERP, which is JD Edwards Enterprise One, for billing, parts management, and other requirements. So with our combined solution, they were able to achieve a 20% increase in technician utilization, savings of 10 hours per week by dispatchers through operational productivity, between 20 and 30% increase in work orders processed, a decreased time to invoice from 9 days to 1, and an increase in first-time fix rates. So overall, this has led to increased customer satisfaction, reduce their operational costs, and very importantly, has allowed Westmoor to scale their service team and actually effectively expand into new geographical regions. Great. So now to close, I'm going to go ahead and show a quick video that will show some IoT examples in action and how IoT-enabled equipment can actually help to, coupled with business process orchestration, can help to effectively manage a predictive field service model.
that was the video. Thank you so much, Brian, for that video. We now are opening it up for questions. If anybody has any questions, please put it into the field on your control panel. And it looks like we do have a question. Anna, it's for you. Which IoT platforms do you work with?
Okay, great question. So at ServiceMax, we work with a variety of IoT platforms. We do have experience with a couple that I'd like to mention. We do have experience with both PTC, which a lot of our medical equipment customers have been using, as well as some industrial companies, as well as experience with Microsoft Azure. And then as part of GE Digital, we also have integrations with the other GE product called GE Asset Performance Management, or APM, which is a deep analytics system telling you how to balance risk against costs for your maintenance plans. And I think, Brian, do you also want to comment on your experience with IoT platforms at Magic?
Absolutely. So Magic SPI includes a MQTT adapter, which is one of the common methodologies and frameworks for IoT sensor data. And as mentioned during the presentation, our IoT Hub portal really can accept and receive really any IoT sensor data that may be necessary amongst the different equipment that you're leveraging.
Thank you so much, Brian and Anna. Really appreciate the time and efforts that we've done for the webinar. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining the webinar. That concludes our webinar.
Thank you very much to the organizers and to Brian.
Well, Anna, Shannon.